Good morning. This April 17th, 2024 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. As the board continues to meet in this hybrid function, we'll ask all folks who are joining us today in person to ensure your electronic devices are turned off or at a minimum placed on silent so you do not disrupt today's proceedings. For those online, if there is an opportunity for you to present to the board, we'll ask that you speak loud, clear, state your name as well as the organization or agency in which you're calling in from, and then begin to proceed with your testimony. At this time, I'll ask our amazing clerk, Ms. Celeste Amato, for any corrections, additions, and noted abstentions to today's agenda. Madam Clerk, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning, everyone. We have the following changes and corrections to the agenda to note this morning. We have a correction to SB 2410476. This is for the Department of Public Works, Project 1328, Program Management Services for Water and Wastewater Facilities, Project Delivery Section. Amendment 2, amount and source of funds. We're including the following work tags for accounting purposes. In the first line for $2 million, PRJ 003 007. Please insert 956-PRJ 003 007, CAP 009551, SC 630318. And in the second line for $2 million, PRJ 002243, please insert 960-PRJ 002243, CAP 009557, SC 630318. For $723,968.50, please insert 2071, CCA 000828, SC 630326, and under endorsements, please insert Finance, BBMR, and BAPS have reviewed and approved this item for funds. We have no protests or statements to note this morning. We have the following walk-ons and deferrals. We have a walk-on, SB 2411392. This is for the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. This is a charitable solicitation application to support the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse response efforts. We have another walk-on, SB 2411444. This is a resolution relating to the guidelines for project funds submissions with the Baltimore Civic Fund. And we have one final walk-on this morning, which is SB 2411520. This is a procurement item. It is a correction and award of contract number RFQ 00285, janitorial and cleaning services. This correction is striking the following language from the original transaction, which was the board was requested to approve goods and services and a contract award to multiple vendors. Instead, the board is being asked to insert that the board is requested to approve the award of a goods and services contract with Golden Gate Services, Inc. for Group 1 to 10. This item is being also presented as a walk-on due to the necessity for continuity of services in maintaining our public buildings. We also have two deferrals to note this morning. SB 2410884. This is a procurement item. It's an unauthorized procurement justification for ARC Document Solutions, LLC. This item is being deferred until May 1st, 2024 at the request of the Department of Public Works. And we have a second deferral this morning for SB 2411054, also a procurement item. This is an unauthorized procurement for ARC Document Solutions, LLC. Also being deferred until May 1st, 2024 at the request of the Department of Public Works. On the non-routine agenda this morning, we'll be hearing the following. Walk-on SB 2411392, Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, charitable solicitation application for Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse response efforts. Walk-on SB 2411444, resolution relating to the guidelines for project funds submissions under the with the Baltimore Civic Funds. Item SB 2411353, Recreation and Parks, award for RP 22812, Towanda and Coldstream Pool renovations. And an additional walk-on of SB 2411520, procurement, correction, and award of contract RFQ 000285, janitorial and cleaning services, Group 1 to 10. We have the following abstentions to note this morning. The Honorable Mayor Brandon Scott is abstaining on the following items: SB 24-10753, Health Department, Johns Hopkins University, Center for Communication Program, Community Asset Mapping Project; SB 24-10501, Health Department, Johns Hopkins University, School of Medicine, Ending the HIV Epidemic; SB 24-11208, Department of Transportation, Traffic Mitigation Agreement, JHU Bloomberg School of Public Health at 1915 McElderry Street. The Honorable President Nick Mosby has no abstentions to note this morning. The Honorable Comptroller Bill Henry is abstaining on all travel requests and travel reimbursements. Deputy City Solicitor Stephen Salisbury is abstaining on SB 24-11120, Department of Law travel request. And the Director of Public Works, Khalil Zaid, has no abstentions to note this morning. We also have some no votes to note for the routine agenda items this morning. The Honorable President Nick Mosby is voting no on the following items on the routine agenda: SB 24-11001, First Amendment to Grant Agreement, the Everyman Theater; SB 24-11132, Grant Agreement with College Bound Foundation, Inc. for Student Scholarships; SB 24-11066, Grant Agreement, HABC, Redevelopment of Key Point Phase 2A, formerly known as O'Donnell Heights; SB 24-11182, Guidehouse, Inc., Contract, ARPA Support for Year 4 through 6; SB 24-10851, Amendment 1 for a Memorandum of Understanding with the Housing Authority of Baltimore City; SB 24-10972, Consulting Agreement, Mary Road; and SB 24-10979, SB 24-10979, First Amendment to Grant Agreement with Ahavas Heim, Inc. for developing mental health and support resources to help keep at-risk youth off the streets. And that concludes our opening statement for this morning, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we proceed to adopt the opening statement, Madam Clerk, SB 24-11488, is that moved? That has moved over to non-routine, is that right?
Mr. President, that walkout was withdrawn, I'm sorry.
That was
I
withdrawn,
didn't
correct.
strike it, it was struck.
Yeah, I just wanted to make
So
sure.
11488 will be featured at a future meeting agenda.
Got you. Perfect. Wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Yep.
Okay, with that, at this time, I'll call for a motion to approve and adopt the opening statement.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The opening statement is now adopted. We have a pretty short agenda for all the folks in our listening audience today. I'll now direct the first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 72, SB 23-11392, Mayor's Office of Immigration Affairs. This request is to approve a governmental charitable solicitation application for the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse response. On behalf of the Mayor's Office, we have. Please state your name and your title.
Allie Smith, Chief of
To the right. It should turn red. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My
morning.
name is Allie Smith. I'm the Chief of Partnerships and Philanthropic Strategy for the Mayor's Office.
Okay, now you can begin with your presentation.
This walk-on item is to approve solicitation efforts for the Key Bridge response through a few different accounts. There's two established at the Baltimore Civic Fund, the one that serves the families of the victims of the Key Bridge collapse, the Wage Subsidy Fund through the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, and then the broader Baltimore Community Foundation, the Maryland Tough, Baltimore Strong, to serve the port workers and the surrounding communities. And this is a waiver for the mayor and some members of senior staff to support those efforts.
Thank you. At this time, are there any questions or concerns? Mr. Comptroller?
Is there a list of which individuals are covered by the waiver that's attached to?
Yes, they're named on the ethics solicitation.
Okay, and that is, I just wanted to make sure that that's one of the background documents we get so that it can go into BOE, submit, and people can see that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing, seeing none, at this time, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Thank you so much, Ms. Smith, for coming this morning. The next item is a Law Department item. It can be found on page 66 through 67, SB 2311444. Law Department, this request is to approve a resolution relating to guidelines for project fund submissions under the Baltimore Civic Fund Master Funding Agreement. On behalf of the Law Department, we have
Mr. President, we have Chief Solicitor Hannah Rose Kondratyuk, who will be presenting virtually.
Okay.
She's on WebEx.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy.
Good morning, honorable members of the Board of Estimates. My name is Hannah Rose Kondratyuk, and I'm with the Law Department. The Law Department is recommending the Board to approve the resolution relating to the guidelines for project fund submissions under the Master Funding Agreement, which was approved by the Board earlier this morning. The purpose of this resolution is to outline the circumstances for which the city agencies may engage the services of the Civic Fund to receive and administer city general funds for a city project through a project fund submission, and this is in alignment with the Master Funding Agreement. It is important to note that the Master Funding Agreement is intended to cover the transfer of city general funds to the Civic Fund, not federal or state funding. This resolution was modeled off the professional services resolution. And like with the professional services resolution's de facto list, this resolution outlines several categories where agencies will not need to seek prior approval before engaging with the Civic Fund to create a project fund submission. In all other cases, the agency will submit a request to the comptroller and the CAO for initial approval to engage with the Civic Fund to create a project fund submission. Please keep in mind that every project fund submission still needs to be approved by the Board of Estimates. So there's transparency and accountability for all city funding that is transferred to the Civic Fund. This resolution was drafted at the request of the comptroller and has been reviewed by the honorable members of the board, and I'm happy to answer any questions the members of the board may have.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or concerns from members of the board? Mr. Comptroller?
Technically not a question or a concern, but just a series of thank yous to the Law Department and to the Civic Fund, some of the executives of which are also joining us this morning on WebEx, and to the City Administrator's Office. We had some concerns, I think, that, last year, or possibly the year before, about agencies basically doing things through the Civic Fund rather than through the city, because there was a perception that it was easier. And I appreciate the administration's efforts to work with us and to sort of regulate this behavior and work out a way where we can use the opportunities that the Civic Fund presents when that is good and necessary, and when we can encourage agencies to stay on track when that is the better route to take. So thank you to everybody who worked on this.
Thank you, Mr. Comptroller. At this time, are there any additional questions or concerns for the Law Department? Hearing and seeing none, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Thank you so much for joining us today. The next item on non-routine agenda can be found on pages 204 through 205. SB 2411353, Department of Recs and Parks. This request is to approve an award for the Towanda and Coldstream Pool renovations to Plano Colden LLC. On behalf of DHCD, Rec and Parks, we have.
Good morning, members of the board, council president, Mayor Scott, Comptroller Henry. I am Reginald Moore, Executive Director, Baltimore City Recreation and Parks. I'm always excited when I can come and get you all support to move another Rec and Parks project.
Well, you're our favorite guest, because typically when you come, we are, it's a ribbon cutting coming up or something.
Yes, sir, you're absolutely right. We're gonna be having a groundbreaking. This is long overdue. This is Towanda's Recreational Center swimming pool that post-COVID, we did not reopen this pool because it needed to be replaced, as well as Coldstream. Two things I want to highlight about Cold Springs. Cold Springs is one of the pools, for some reason, back in the day when they designed these pools in East Baltimore was built with a fence that separated the shallow or the kiddie pool from the main pool. Don't know why, blew my mind, but we have now focused on moving those. We've already replaced and renovating Ambrose Kennedy and removing that, so now we'll be able to do the same with Cold Springs. So with your support today, what we'll be doing is we'll start construction. This is a 12-month project, and it will include a lap lane pool as well as a family pool with zero entry for our kids throughout the community to use. And with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Thank you, Director Moore. At this time, we'll turn it over to Mayor. Mayor Scott, the floor is yours.
Mr. Director, first, just for the general public, because they don't know what zero entry means, could you explain that to everyone?
Zero entry means that basically toddlers and kids can walk into the pool. There's not a depth, and it goes from 0 up to 3 feet, which is similar to what you would see if you came to Druid Hill Pool.
Thank you. And Mr. Director, just thank you again for your continued work and for continuing to understand the need to update and modernize our facilities. As you know, Towanda is one that's particularly important for me because I grew up going to that rec center, and when we reopened the rec center that had been closed, we knew that the pool had to be the next thing. The comptroller, if you've never seen one of these things with the fences in the middle of the pool, you should make sure that you go take a look at it before they tear it out. And it's just, again, showing that with the support of this board, we are continuing to bring in a new day for recreation and parks and valuing our young people and families. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, Mr. Comptroller.
Yeah, I first of all, I appreciate you defining zero entry, because that was not at all what I thought zero entry meant. And I was a little confused because it sounded like a bad thing that toddlers wouldn't be able to get into the toddler pool, but y'all were smiling and looking like it was a good thing. So I'm glad that you explained that. But yeah, I have not seen a pool where there's like a chain link fence.
Yeah, there was a galvanized fence that separated the kiddie pool from, and it was only on the pools in the east side of Baltimore. Don't know why they designed it that way, but that has been our commitment to remove those.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
The director is being very nice. I think we all know why they were on the east side of Baltimore, right? It's what prior administrations and folks who were running city government thought of the people that lived in those neighborhoods, and that they could do something that they wouldn't do in other pools. We have to be reminded that at one point here in Baltimore City, there were 2 pools in Druid Hill, one for black folks and one for everyone else. And we have to be reminded of that history, and that we are still in 2024 erasing that history with every single investment that we're making into rec and parks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With that, before we vote this out, let's do a shameless plug of the ribbon cutting you just undertook and talking about moving the city in 21st century for Rex and Parks, and all the work that you've been doing to date for it.
Sure. So on Monday, yeah, it's just like days are moving so fast. So on Monday, not only did we spent time breaking ground on the new Gardenville Recreation Center that's going to be in Northeast Baltimore, but we also had a chance to cut the ribbon of our first ever esports facility at Medfield Recreational Center. And looking at the response, I think it was an overwhelming response what I've been seeing on social media. Everyone's really excited about this opportunity, and we're really continuously trying to find ways that we can connect with our young people as well as our adults, because I think there was adults that came to me and asked me, hey, are there going to be times for adults to come and play, when it comes to gaming? And so we're really excited about the future, what we're doing there, and in the near future we'll be announcing our second site, so this is just the first of many.
Thank you, Director Moore. With that, I'll entertain a motion for SB 2411353.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. The next item on non-routine agenda is a walk-on. It's for SB 2411520 regarding janitorial and cleaning services. We will hear from DGS or procurement. We'll hear from Chief Procurement Officer. If you could please state your name and.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Comptroller, Mr. President, honorable board members. Adam Manny, your Chief Procurement Officer. Little history is in December of last year, based upon a formal solicitation, this board awarded contracts for custodial services. On Monday, to two different companies, ABS2 Enterprises and Golden Gate Services. On Monday afternoon, DGS and Procurement received an email from ABS telling us that they were possibly unable to fulfill their contract as what was going on. Procurement, DGS, and legal got together to discuss our options as we would moving forward. It seems that they were under some financial distress. Procurement reached out to them to make sure that they would be able to provide services through today or through Friday. DGS then reached out to Golden Gate, the other award winner, to see if they would be able to pick up these additional services. And credit to Mr. King Bennett from DGS, who also reached out when he spoke to Golden Gate to ensure that the current employees would be offered opportunities to stay, as if Golden Gate was awarded this and we move forward from ABS. So the people who are here would be able to move to Golden Gate. So there wouldn't be interrupted continuity of services, same people, and they would keep their employment. Last night at 6:15, Procurement and DGS received an email saying that ABS would not be able to fulfill their contract. And so as we were watching various sports, the Lakers and the O's, more power to me, we put together the board item and submitted it through BOE Submit after consultation with the CAO to do the correction and have the entire contract go to Golden Gate. That's it in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, Mr. CPO. One quick question. So will the strategy be for us to put it back out for bid through RFP, or just keep the replacement contractor for the length of the contract?
There needs to be discussions with the subject matter experts, with DGS and others, to see what we want to do. This contract is valid until December of '27, so there would have to be a conversation if we wanted to put it back out and continue. My best estimate would be is we wouldn't do anything for at least a year, as we just awarded it, and we would continue moving forward and then look at it and review.
So what's the timeline on coming back to the board about the decision?
We have to have that, it's all happened very quickly. I would
Yes.
probably say in a couple of months after we see how services are going.
Okay. So just please keep it on the radar regardless of however you decide to move, just so you can come back and communicate that to the board.
Yes, sir. Either I or the director will come back and give you.
All right, I need one person to be responsible for this.
Oh, I guess it'll be me.
Thank you so
You
much,
get to see me
Mr.
every week anyway, so.
Thank you so much, Mr. CPO. Are there any other questions, Ms. Comptroller?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Well, thank you for adding the bit about you got the email at 6:15 p.m. because I was like, we had a meeting yesterday afternoon, and at 4 o'clock, this was not on my list of walk-ons for today. So I was actually very curious about the details for this. Just a couple things to make sure. I think you told me that you're effectively trying to get Golden Gate to hire all of the ASB Enterprise as 2 employees who had been working specific jobs for the city.
That is correct.
And the other question I had was Sinbad involved in your discussions that apparently happened very quickly, I understand, and were there MBWB requirements on this contract that are the same for Golden Gate and ASB, such that Golden Gate will just, pick that up also?
Yes, sir. There were WMB requirements of 10%. ABS was a fully minority company. Golden Gate has a subcontractor for the full 10% that is a local company that's doing the work. And they did meet all of the requirements of SMBAD.
And so because they're getting more work, they will just subcontract more to
Correct.
their MB
Yes, sir.
subcontractor. Okay. I think those were my only 2 questions, so thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I mean, that was the genesis of my concern, losing a minority contractor for work like this, identifying that there's probably others, and knowing that the other contract only had 10% minority women goals on it. So that's why I'm really interested in you guys coming back to kind of let the board know if the decision is to keep to keep them through the expiration of this contract, or if there'll be an opportunity for us to put this back out for bid that they can bid for, but that the minority participation is more in line with the goals that we try to set on other contracts.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll discuss and get back to you.
Okay. Are there any other questions or concerns from members of the board? Hearing and seeing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. As there's no new business before the desk of the board, we will adjourn.
Mr.
The
President,
next,
I'm sorry, we didn't technically vote on the routine.
we never voted on the routine.
We got so excited about the walk-ons, we just moved ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Clerk, keeping us in order.
Trying to keep
So-
it together.
So, Madam Clerk is saying that we have to go back and make sure we formally vote out the opening statement. No, non-routine.
The routine.
I'm sorry, routine,
and-
routine,
yes.
right. So we skipped over from opening to non-routine. So at this time, I'll take a motion for us to vote out the routine agenda item.
So moved.
Second.
That's probably 100 and some votes built up in there. So it's been moved and probably second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The routine agenda items have now been voted out. As there's now no new business before the desk of the board, we will adjourn. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Estimates will occur on Wednesday, May the 1st at 9 a.m. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Baltimore, we love you. 1 second, Mr. Comptroller.
We have a special meeting at 10:30 today. Do we have to announce that?
It's already, I think you.
It's all publicized, but
Okay,
you can
alright.
say, you can plug for it.
Mr. Comptroller wants to announce our special meeting. It's today at 10:30. That will be a special meeting associated with the
budget, yeah.
budget. But the next regularly scheduled meeting for all deferrals and next items on the routine agenda will be on May 1st. So again, a special meeting today at 10:30 for us to get a preliminary snapshot of the budget from finance. And then the next regularly scheduled meeting, again, is Wednesday, May the 1st at 9 a.m. Baltimore, we absolutely love you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, TV 25. Welcome to the Board of Estimates bid opening for April 17th, 2024. We have quite a few bids to open today, so you're going to hear a lot of opening activity in the background and see a lot of activity in the background as we begin this opening. We first have a few addenda to share today for the Bureau of Procurement, RFQ 548. Passenger bus van transportation services. This item will now be opened on May 1st, 2024. The new opening date again is May 1st, 2024. For Department of Transportation, TR 24011, resurfacing highways at various locations, Northeast Sector 1. This bid will now be opened on May 1st, 2024. Also for Department of Transportation, resurfacing highways at various locations, Northwest Sector 2. This bid will also be opened now on May 1st, 2024. Again, that was May 1st, 2024. Also for Department of Transportation, TR 24013, resurfacing highways at various locations, Southwest Sector 3. This bid will now be opened on May 1st, 2024. And finally, also for Department of Transportation, TR 24014, resurfacing highways at various locations, Southeast Sector 4. This bid will now be opened on May 1st, 2024. And as always, the addenda and those dates will be part of the information we post to the Comptroller's website a little later this afternoon. And today we have 16 bids to open. And we're going to work in reverse order because we've got a lot of bulky bid openings today. So we're going to start with Department of Transportation, TR 24005. This is for curb repairs citywide. And this would be our tab sheet 16. And Abby says yes, I am not making an error. And let me scroll to that tab so I can record the bids. Bear with me just a second. Again, this is TR 24005, curb repair citywide.
That is correct.
Okay, up first.
Up first, we have Santos Construction Company Incorporated. That total is 838,045.00.
That number was 838?
Yes.
045.00?
That is correct.
That was Santos Construction Company, Inc., and the bid amount was $838,045.00. Up next. Gently toss that bid to Casey, who will properly handle it.
Our second bid for this item is J Villa Construction, Inc. And that total is 860,000.00. And they have a bid bond.
Okay, do they both have, the other have a bid bond as well? I was gonna ask that because I forgot to. Okay, so we know this one did.
Yeah.
And we'll verify the other
Yeah,
one.
that one's probably
That
yours.
number was 860,000.00.
That is correct.
So that bidder was J Villa Construction, Inc. for $860,000.00. And that was the final of two bids for contract TR 24005, curb repair citywide. Up next for Department of Transportation, TR 24003, concrete slab repair. This would be tab sheet 15 for us, you guys. Are we on the right one? Okay.
Thank you. All right, up first, we have Santos Construction Incorporated. Looks like it might be all right, and that total is 1,139,043.00.
That number was 1,139,043.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was Santos Construction Company, Inc. for $1,139,043.00, and they have a bid bond. Thank you. Up next, oh, sorry, I could have handed that. I'll work harder.
All right, up next, we have J Villa Incorporated. They do have a bid bond. Yep. All right. And that total is 1,229,000.00.
Okay, that number was 1,229,000.00.
That is correct.
That was J Villa Construction, Inc. for $1,229,000. Let me try that again. $1,229,000.00. And up next,
Up next, we have M. Lewis Construction, Inc. And that total is 1,693,2 201.75.
That number was 1,693,201.75.
That is
And
correct.
that was M. Louise Construction Company, Inc. for $1,693,201.75. And thank you, there's a bid bond. So that was the final, I think, of 3 bidders for TR 24003 concrete slab repair. Up next, we have a bid for Department of General Services. This is for GS 21807R, War Memorial Building roof replacement. Does that sound right? Excellent. You guys can read them in any order, because I'll just adjust to, okay.
All right, up first, we have Swain Enterprises LLC. This looks a little- I don't see a price. I don't see a price for this. They do have a bid bond, but I don't see a price. Unless it's, is it this one? Page 79.
This should be a total, but I'll take. Uh-huh. That is just the total of MBE participation.
This one's,
So it's not even,
no, because even this one.
Sorry, folks, bear with us. We are
Yeah, is
trying
it
to find
this
the
base bid?
official totals
so 9.
page.
100,
This,
So on page 78 is
78.
I see page 79 has a total base bid plus 2 allowances.
Yep,
I think that's the right number to use.
all right,
Yeah, and definitely use the one on 79, because that's where they're also putting allowances in.
yep,
Do you guys see that?
yep.
Okay. Here, let me hand this back to you.
All right. That total is 975, comma 090.00.
Okay, that number was 975, comma 090.00.
That is correct.
Okay, that was Swain Enterprises LLC for $975,090.00. Do we have bid bonds for these?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, up next, we have Rough Roofing. Same thing, yeah. All right, and that total is 2,330,950.00.
That number was 2,330,950.00.
That is correct.
That was Rough Roofing for $2,330,950.00.
Can we strike that? We have a separate total that we're seeing here.
79.
Yeah,
Looks like the state we're putting for allowances on this one.
Yeah,
It's a different amount.
yeah, we should be using page 79.
First, yeah, so-
Oh. Yeah, we should be reading that number on page 79. Sorry, folks, we're gonna strike that. That is a subtotal. We need to revise the total as shown on the bid from Rough Roofing. So that number is,
2,452,350.00.
okay, that number is 2,452,350.00.
That is correct.
Okay. That bid from Rough Roofing is for $2,452,350.00 and a bid bond.
There's a bid bond.
Great.
Yep. Right. Up next, we have Allstate Contractor, Inc. 79, yep. Right, and that total is 2,547,000.00.
Okay, that number was 2,547,000.00.
That is correct.
Okay, that bidder was Allstate Contractor, Inc. for $2,547,000.00.
Bid bond, yep. And this has a bid bond. All right. Up next, we have Cole Roofing, Inc. And that total is 2,607,400.00.
Okay, that number was 2,607,400.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond.
Yes, we do.
That bid was from Cole Roofing Company, Inc. for $2,607,400.00.
Right. Yep. Our final bidder is RSSI Roofing Company. And that total is 2,383,263.00.
Okay, that number was 2,383,263.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond.
Yes, we do.
So that bidder was RSSI Roofing Company for $2,383,263.00. And that was our final of 5 bidders for GS 21807R, War Memorial Building Roof Replacement. Up next, for Department of Public Works, we have WC 1399. This is for water infrastructure replacement at various locations.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Up first, we have Spinello. Let me just double check. All right. And that total is 12,733,000.00.
Okay, that number was 12,733,000.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond?
Yes, we do.
That company was Spinello for $12,733,000.00.
Up next, we have Monumental Paving and Excavating, Inc. All right, that total is 150,000,000.
That number was 14,150,000.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond?
Yes, we do.
So that bidder was Monumental Paving and Excavating, Inc. for $14,150,000.00.
Our final bidder is Civil Construction, LLC. And that total is 12,023,650.00.
That number was 12,023,650.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond?
Yes, we do.
And that bidder was Civil Construction LLC for $12,023,650.00. And that was our final of 3 bidders for WC 1399 water infrastructure replacement at various locations. Up next is for Department of Public Works, WC 1413, Lake Montebello and Montebello Washwater Lake Dredging.
All right. Up first is American Process Group, LLC. That total is 35,570,720.35.
That number was 35,570,720.00.
0.35.
Okay, let me fix that. .35, let me read that again. That was 35,570,720.35.
That is correct.
Very precise. That bidder was American Process Group LLC for $35,570,720.35. And I'm guessing that has a bid bond.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Up next, we have Synagro Central, LLC. That total is 28,934,083.60.
Okay, that number was 28,934,083.60.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond.
Yes.
That bidder was Synagro? Let's go. Let's go with that. Synagro Central LLC for $28,934,083.60.
Okay.
Is the right one? Yeah, 14, WC 1413.
Okay, thank you. Okay, our final bidder is Whiting Turner Contracting. It's this one, right? Yeah. All right. That total is 29,305, 000.00.
Okay, that number was 29,305, 000.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond.
Yes, we do.
And that bidder was Whiting Turner Contracting for $29,305,000 and 0 cents. And that was the final of 3 bidders
Yes.
for WC 1413 Lake Montebello and Montebello Washwater Lake Dredging. Up next, for Department of Public Works, we have contract ER 4130 RRR. This is for the Environmental Restoration Project 15.
Okay, thanks. All right, up first, we have Bowen Cron Enterprises, Inc. And that total is 5,579, 418.40.
That was 5,579, 418.40.
That is correct.
That was Bowen Cron Enterprises, Inc. for $5,579,418.40. And do we have an address for Bowen Cron? It's missing, so I can fill it in whilst we're doing this.
9315 Pulaski Highway, Baltimore, Maryland, 21220.
Okay.
Just make sure this is okay with this. Should we take tape?
I want to read the teleprompter to you because it picked up the last thing they said is Lastic Highway, now Q, 1 kitchen 0.
Sounds realistic.
You all just have to Google that vendor address.
All right, our final bidder is Civil Construction, LLC. And that total is 5,026, 508.00.
Okay, that number was 5,026, 508.00.
That is correct.
And we have a bid bond?
Yes.
So that bidder was Civil Construction LLC for $5,026,508.00. And that was our final of 2 bidders for ER 4130 RRR Environmental Restoration Project 15. Up next, for the Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 93, Integrated Pest Control.
We have no bid submitted.
Oh, sorry, Chief Procurement Officer. We'll have to try again for Integrated Pest Control. We did not receive, So we have no bidders for RFQ 93, Integrated Pest Control. But up next, for the Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 500, Picnic Tables and Accessories. It is more fun with you here, Adam. It really is.
Glad to be here.
Do we have any other guests? Oh, we have a guest. We have studio audience, and our city chief procurement officer, Adam Manny, has joined us today.
And there was
And-
much rejoicing.
And there was much rejoicing. That's who I keep looking at off camera. And there's what? The band guy? Ah. Maybe we need a band for bid openings. It would be more fun if we had a band for bid openings.
I'm thinking of getting my own stool and a brass nameplate
Yeah,
system up here all the time.
exactly. You should. You should have your own nameplate. You should write to someone about that.
Help finding, when you're looking for the
Yeah,
cost.
well, I found the name actually just now, and now I look at the cost. So this is the one that they got.
Look through.
This one.
Okay. All right.
You guys set?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Up first, we have Treetop Products. Okay. Just want to make sure this is correct. All right. This one.
Grand total.
Yep.
Over 3-year term, that would be what you page was that? Doesn't have a page number.
No. All right. So that total is 474, comma 660.58.
Okay, that number was 474, comma 660.58.
That is correct.
That bidder was Treetop Products for $474,660.58.
What's the next one on the list?
Rudolph Supply. Up next, we have Rudolph Supply, Inc. Okay, yeah, that's good. Right. That total is 550, comma 143.00.
That bidder was, forgot to read you the number, 550, comma 143.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was Rudolph Supply LLC for $550,143.00.
That's what this is.
Okay. All right, and our final bidder is Fire Marketing Advisors.
Pricing is right.
Okay. And that total is 363, comma 621.00.
You said 363.
Yep.
Hold on just one second. My 6 stuck again. That was 363, comma 621.00.
That is correct.
That was Fire Marketing Advisors for $363,621.00. And that was our final of 3 bidders for RFQ 500, picnic tables and accessories. Up next for Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 556, home delivered meals for city residents. Five, 6.
We have one bidder. That's Paulette N.A. Inc., doing business as Rogue Fine Catering. Okay.
Does this one have a total?
It does.
Or a unit price?
Yeah.
Okay.
The total is 3,150,000.00.
Okay, that number was 3,150,000.00.
That is correct.
And that was Poulet N.A. Inc., doing business as Rouge Fine Catering. And that was our only bidder
Yes.
for RFQ 556, home delivered meals for city residents. Up next for the Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 551, mowing of grass and landscaping services for the Enoch Pratt Library.
Thanks. Up first, we have Lorenz Inc. Is it itemized? Yeah, looks itemized.
Itemized? Does that sound right? For mowing? Okay.
Looks itemized to me. Yep, that's the final. All right, okay.
So we won't have a total.
We do.
Total items A through G, yeah. All right, so that total is 168,115.00.
Okay, that total was 168,115.00.
That is correct.
That was for Lorenz Inc., $168,115.00.
Our final bidder is P2 Cleaning Services, LLC. All right. And that total is 94,955.00.
That number was 94,955.00.
That is correct.
That was P2 Cleaning Services LLC for $94,955.00. And that was our final of 2 bids for RFQ 551, mowing of grass and landscaping services for the Enoch Pratt Library. Up next for the Bureau of Procurement, RFQ 494, maintenance and repair of historic plaster. Anywhere or just here? Historic plaster. Wherever you want.
I checked, it can all be read.
Oh, both parts for the upcomings, okay.
right.
Thank you.
Up first, we have Alden Inc. All right, and that total is 994,180.00.
Okay, that number was 994,180.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was Alden Inc. for $994,180. and 0 cents. There's no bid bond for that, is there?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
You want to double check?
What's it for?
A bid bond? I didn't see one
What's the,
for Alden Inc.
I guess there wouldn't be a bid bond.
I don't really see one.
Yeah, I didn't see one.
Because it's probably scattered maintenance, right? Yeah, okay.
It's not considered a capital project.
Like paint. It seems like it could be though.
Our final bidder is Hales and Howe Inc., Howie Inc.
What page number, please? Should be hold up.
Is that like early in the, or I could just read off of that one. Towards the end.
You'll just read this one.
Yeah, I'll just read it off of there, that's fine.
Here it is.
7, got it, thanks. Right, that total is 779, comma 994.00.
That number was 779,994.00.
That is correct.
And that bidder was Hales and Howe Inc. for $779,994.00. And that was our final two bidders for RFQ 494, maintenance and repair of historic plaster. Up next, for the Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 503. This is for Cobra Administrative Services, Part A and B, which means we're going to read out all the bidders and the totals they provide.
What's the first one?
Total administration.
This one? Sealed envelope.
Yeah.
This is the pricing.
Right. Right, so up first, we have Total Administrative Services Corporation. And that total is 142, comma 560.00.
That number was 142,560.00.
That is correct.
And that was for Total Administrative Services Corporation, $142,560.00. Bless you, man.
Bless you. Up next, we have Voya Benefits Company, LLC. This is a copy, but no. I guess it'll be in here. Part A. No,
So it's not gonna be,
It's not.
gonna be a price part A,
no,
and part B doesn't seem to have.
nope.
And it doesn't look like the other one?
It does not.
Let's call in our chief procurement officer to look over your shoulder on this one.
That's their part B documentation for the pricing.
No, this is just there.
Did you flip through Part A just to be sure they didn't
Yeah.
maybe follow instructions?
Well, let me. It might actually be listed here. Keep looking in their bid documents. Thought Tapo would have it because it's the bid documents. Oh,
Yeah,
might be this one. Yep. Over 3 years. Yep. All right. So that total is 142, comma 560.00.
That number was 142, comma 560.00.
That is correct.
And that was Voya Benefits Company LLC
Yes.
for $142,560.00. And do we have an address for Voya?
Yes.
Because I can fill that in.
All right. It is 250 Marquette Avenue.
QUET?
Yes. Suite 900, Minneapolis, 55401.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
What's the next one?
Inspira. Yep. All right, and our final bidder is Inspira Financial Health, Inc. All right, and that total is 120, comma 960.00.
Can you read that number again? 120, comma,
960,
.00.
that is
Okay.
correct.
So that was 120, comma 960.00. And that was Inspira Financial Health, Inc. for $120,960.00. And that was our final of three. For RFQ 503, Cobra Administrative Services, we opened both parts A and B today. Up next, for the Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 504, Vision Plan Administration. Yep.
This one's gonna have to go in order, because I think this is a different name, so I have to find it.
Okay, so start with the second. Okay.
This isn't a two-part, right? This is not a two-part.
Yes. It looks like they have a technical here too.
Oh, okay. I don't have that written
I
on
didn't, yeah.
here. So this is an A and B.
Um,
Five zero four,
This is the
correct?
house proposal, okay. So there's A and B.
So we should do both of these also. Um,
Yeah,
Hang on
thank
for
you.
just 1 second, because
No
I'm gonna
worries.
go to the page all the way over here and write part A and B next to that, so it's on Shay's summary. This is for vision.
Oh, so that'll
This
have the
is A
price.
and B.
That'll have the price.
And we're gonna open
This was
both.
posted, but like, yes, they've been in here lately.
It's been
so,
in here, yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, so this is the folder right here.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So we're on 504, Vision Plan Administration. We have parts A and B, so we're gonna be reading both vendor and prices.
Alright. Up first, we have National Vision Administrators LLC. And that total is 2,125,440.00.
So that number was 2,125,440.00.
That is correct.
So that bid was National Vision Administrators LLC for $2,125,440.00.
So we need to see together. Next one is-
Or, is it B?
Okay, so this is probably, this has to be the first one, because it was a different name on the actual container.
Okay.
So,
Is this Mimeo?
Vimeo.
They trade as, or do business as another name?
it's gonna be MetLife.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's,
Oh, actually,
that's,
sorry.
yeah, that's Aetna,
This is
right?
Aetna, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
So Aetna's, okay.
So Aetna would be.
So Aetna's, I'm sorry, the last one, my apologies.
No worries.
Maybe it was fine. We changed anyways, but, yeah, it is, actually it is MetLife. But we're at Aetna now, so, sorry.
So which one is this?
So this, we're working on Aetna right now.
Okay.
We have it, yeah.
There's a lot of parts in this one.
Up next, we have Aetna Life Insurance Company. Jeez.
Oh, God, I didn't use me.
All right, that total is 3,034,512.00.
That number was 3,034,512.00.
That is correct.
That was for Aetna Life Insurance Company for $3,034,512.00.
Yeah, they're very flimsy. Okay. I don't even know how to best handle that. Okay. All right. Go.
Okay, Michael. And so the first one is under Mimeo, but it should be under MetLife.
Okay.
MetLife.
Should I get rid of Mimeo?
Yes.
And just say, okay,
Okay.
this is MetLife.
Our final bidder is MetLife Group's Benefits.
Let's go to the yellow.
That total is 2,774,880.00.
That number was 2,774,880.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was MetLife for $2,774,880.00. And I think that was our last of three bidders for RFQ 504, Vision Plan Administration. Up next is also for the Bureau of Procurement, RFQ 505, Group Life and AD&D and Voluntary Benefits Services, also Part A and B. I see Mimeo on the list again, which I'm assuming I should swap out for MetLife.
Thanks. Up first, we have MetLife.
It's 37.
Okay. Which tab is that?
I thought you were bringing us lunch.
See, so my tab B has like, you see? Yeah, it's like weird. Thank you. It's the total is 20,374.00.
Okay, that number was 20,056,374.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was MetLife for $20,056,374.00.
And they also need under another name.
Okay. Is she sending that to you?
Okay.
what that means? She's not approving it?
Up next, we have Voya Financial. And that total is 3,432,000.00.
That number was 3,432,000.00.
That is correct.
That was for Voya for $3,432,000.00.
Up next, we have the Hartford. Are you seeing a total? I'm not seeing one. I'm not seeing it. Their MBE section. So here they have it listed as.
That's for MBE, but isn't there,
So was the,
Yeah, but there isn't.
isn't there another page?
There isn't.
Let's see. Did you find it?
I don't see it. Do you have their main?
You have a copy, right? Yeah, I have a copy. I have a copy of the cost. I don't see it. This looks like MBE. I don't see a total, but at least not in this copy. Really small. Is it just teeny tiny?
Here you are, it's in the wrong book.
Oh. I'll give this book back.
That total is 24,243, 303.00.
Okay, that number is 24,243, 303.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was the Hartford for $24,243,303.00. Saran wrap. I've never seen them sealed that way before. Extra sterile.
Thanks. Our final bidder is Standard Insurance Company. This is interesting. It's probably on this tab.
I have the price sheet on this one.
Yeah, my 37 is, actually my 30, it goes 36 and 46. Thank you. All right, the total is 24,289,162.00.
Okay, that number was 24,289,162.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was Standard Insurance Company for $24,289,162.00. And that was the fourth of the final of four bidders for RFQ 505, Group Life and AD&D and Voluntary Benefit Services, Parts A and B.
Yes, it's not most of them are not waiting out 3 to 5 years, and that was a single year, that's why it's so long.
Up next, for Bureau of Procurement, we have RFQ 471, Liquid Oxygen. Just enjoy some of the purchasing. We're buying liquid oxygen today.
Michael?
So next week they say everything.
This, oh, sorry.
That's Khalil's seat.
This,
It's an illusion.
I almost feel like a fucking,
they all work together.
But are you awesome?
This is the same guy.
almost, I said almost, I'm feeling the rush of adrenaline.
Yes. That would be great. Thank you. we have, okay, awesome.
So they came in boxes, that's what we usually do is, once they get small, we'll organize them into boxes.
This must be, actually.
This one, okay.
You can park behind our cars. You know where Erica and I park. Well, they're. Yeah, Mr. Mike said will just back up to the front door. And coordinate with Shay and Michael can help.
I got a 7:30 call. So you're early tomorrow. I can get here about like 8:30 or so.
But you need to check with the boss of organizing.
Yeah, he'll be.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Well, if not, I'll come by tomorrow afternoon. I have a 2:30 here in person. I'll see if I can get the city manager to cancel it. But if she does, give me a better chance to swing by.
Yeah, so if you, park, you could park behind us for that meeting. If you just want to drive over with your car, so you can pick everything up then.
Park behind the building, finance lot.
Oh, you're not that, yeah, you're not that far anyway.
Are we done?
We are not.
Oh.
We have one more Whopper, but we are still awaiting RFQ 471 for liquid oxygen,
We have it.
We have it.
and the team is ready.
All right. All right, we have one bidder for this, Lind Inc.
9, it says it has a price sheet, but it doesn't show anything.
That's interesting. Okay, so it shows a bid price sheet, but we don't see a total.
You have an extra copy? There's no unit price either.
No, there isn't.
I'm gonna hand this over to Adam to take a look at the copy. And there's no other sheet in yours either, Abby?
No, there isn't.
Okay, great.
It's
So
insurance.
Adam, when we say a unit price, we usually don't say it.
Oh, it might be this
We
one?
send it to you guys to
Oh,
figure
okay.
out.
Yeah, is it
But
this
I don't
one?
So
see
now
a
we
unit
have,
there.
We have another one?
we have another one.
Okay,
Um,
yep.
Another copy?
yeah, it's a completely different
They have
page.
the extended total price,
So,
quantity.
let's have her take a look at this one then.
Sure.
They would say the unit price, but then they didn't do the math.
They did it on this one. Is this the
That's the,
original?
That's the
yeah, that's the original.
Okay, it's only on the original.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with this one.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
And here's the copy back, Shay.
All right. That total is 4,500, 000.00.
Okay, that number was 4,500,000.00.
That is correct.
And that was for Lind Inc. And again,
Yes.
that bid was $4,500,000 and 0 cents. And that was our only bidder for RFQ 471 liquid oxygen. And last but not least, we have for the Bureau of Procurement, RFQ 502, DHMO and DPPO plans.
Can you hang on 1 second?
And are these Part A and B also? It's, am I looking at the right one? 505? It doesn't say on our list, but I think we have As and Bs. Okay, I'm gonna change it. Okay. So we will be opening Part A and B today. And this is 502. All of them should be 502s.
Yes.
And Mimeo is MetLife. Yes.
Yeah.
The late one?
Oh, okay, so we're gonna go with this?
Yeah.
Okay, got it, okay. All right.
This might be the one you want to look through, actually.
Okay,
5 yeah.
okay, great, thank you.
He can learn.
All right, up first,
Yep.
we have MetLife.
Yep.
And that total is 1,143,082.80.
That number was 1,143,082.00.
0.80.
Whoops. Let me try that again. 0.80. So one more time, 1,143,082.80.
That is correct.
That bidder was MetLife for $1,143,082.80.
We're gonna have to, this team piece is yours, right? For now, it's Michael.
Oh, okay.
Next one on the list. Anna.
Yeah. Thanks. Up next, we have Aetna. Okay. That total is 21,135,219.00.
Okay, that number was 21,135,219.00.
That is correct.
That bidder was Aetna Life Insurance Company for $21,135,219.00.
Okay, makes sense.
Up next, we have Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah. This is gonna take. Oh, Okay, yeah. All right, and that total is 3,625,490.00.
That number was 3,625,490.00.
That is correct.
And that bidder was Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield for $3,625,490.00.
One moment before you do that.
Sure.
Here first.
That looks like,
Yes.
that looks
So
like another
that's,
one.
that's, strike that, I'm sorry.
So we're gonna have to strike that.
Yeah. We don't have it.
And striking that,
Yes.
the total you just gave me?
Yep.
Striking the total we just read for Care First.
This doesn't provide. Tab and pricing sheets. Not seeing anything. I don't see it. No, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't.
I don't see where.
I don't see where they could have put it. Wait, hold on.
Mr. Dudley, Chief Procurement Officer, for the totals for these. I think we're looking for the total for Care First.
Bid number, bid due date, employee.
Is it Care First?
Mm-hmm. I think this is the original. This is the original.
Is there a separate price proposal?
I don't see that.
If not, it might be on the flash drives. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
There's a,
Here's the price proposal.
Okay, so it'll
knew
be
it was
in here. Okay. Where is that?
Oh,
Well, let's see. Yeah, bid, well, this looks redacted.
it needs the original.
Yeah, this is redacted.
Is there an original price proposal there?
That's a duplicate.
This is, yeah, it's redacted. There's another one. Thank you.
It should be
Alright,
there.
so this should have it, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, there it is. Alright. All right, the total is 64,443.00.
can you read that again, please?
Sure. 64,443.00.
That was 64,443.00.
That is correct.
So that was Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield for $64,443.00. And for folks trying to follow this bid, bear with us, we have a lot of binders that came in with this one, so we're just making sure we're reading out the right numbers, and I'll go through them one more time at the end of the opening. I think we have one more?
Yes, we do. Just the Concordia.
That's why I got separated. Now, this is the one.
Yeah, this is the one that we, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Our final bidder is United Concordia Dental. And that total is 3,625,490.00.
That number was 3,625,490.00.
That is correct.
That was United Concordia Dental for $3,625,490.00. And I believe that was our final of 4 bidders. And I'm going to read through the bidders one more time for RFQ 502. It was United Concordia Dental for $3,625,490.00. MetLife for $1,143,082.80. Aetna Life Insurance Company, $21,135,219.00. And CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield for $64,443.00. And I believe that's it. That was our final opening for today. I want to thank the Chief Procurement Officer for joining us and reviewing these. And of course, the agencies will be reviewing all of these in greater detail. And the results that we have opened today will be posted on the Comptroller's website by close of business, but usually much earlier than that. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Our next bid opening is on May 1st, 2024 at 12 noon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, TV 25.